Hey folks, I believe that Robin Williams spoke to me from heaven, and I'm going to let you know exactly what he said. I'm going to read you parts of my conversation with Jane Agni and Brent Spiner. This was a Google chat, and it just happened that while I was getting ready to Google chat with Jane, that Robin started talking to me from heaven. And I said, "Hey Jane, I'm not sure, but I think Robin is talking to me from heaven right now. Every now and then Jesus will allow some folks from heaven to talk to me." Jane, I believe it. Is he saying anything good? And I said, "Let me talk to him." Then Robin said, "Your friend Jane is cool." Then Jane put a smiley face up and said, "Ah." "Hey, Robin," I said to him, "why have you connected with me now? I like your idea of making another video to talk about the post-traumatic stress I suffered because of all that penis crap that Jesuits did to us." Jane said, "Yeah, that was really harsh what the Jesuits did to your men recently with their penises. Your men are real heroes to make it through all of that. When your men vanished for that month and a half, I was really worried about them. In retrospect, that seems silly since Jesus is on their side." Then I said, "Wow, my internet just got cut off. Weird. I had to sign out and then sign into Google again. I keep getting this message stating that you are not getting my posts. Let me put a tinfoil hat on. Are you there? Jane, I am, yes." Then I said, "That was weird." Jane, "I'm going to grab my tinfoil hat as well. We might be experiencing Jesuit interference." Then Robin said, "Why, that Zach Knight bastard." He was speaking to me in my brain from heaven. It sounds like a thought in my mind. Jane, "Okay, it's on now." And Robin says, "Tell Jane to try and get a Gabriel Chana Fox News recording about my death so the world can get evidence that I didn't try to do myself in. She needs to be real careful, though, and I don't want her to be the next suicide. Perhaps this is not a good idea. I'm really peeved that everyone thinks I did myself in. Jane, I will do my best to get footage. Your courage inspires me." Robin said, "I can see that Zach bastard from heaven. He's real busy on the computer right now. Keep wearing that tinfoil hat." Robin, "I feel just awful that you died for me. Yeah, the way they killed me was pretty morbid. I wouldn't recommend it to folks." And then I said, "So, do you really have a Gail android to make love to in heaven?" Well, let's just put it this way. She's not an android. She's an actual replication of who you will be in your millennial body. What? How does Jesus do this? I mean, I'm down here on earth and you're up in heaven. Not sure. Perhaps Jesus has his own clone technology. Are you sorry you did what you did, tried to marry me? And then he said, "I've never been the type to live a life of regrets. Hell no. I think what I did really made a statement. I don't regret anything, especially now that you're making videos for me. Be sure and make a video about our chat now. Don't you think folks will think I'm suffering major delusions? Well, just say that you heard this thought in your mind that sounded like me and you're not sure, but wanted to share the experience because it seemed like me. I've been crying a lot about my death because everybody thinks I was depressed. I was not depressed. I'm damn mad about this. Yikes. Jesus doesn't mind your language. He's been using this language himself, but when he says damn, he means the devil. Wait a minute. Jesus told me he would never talk to me except through Brent Spiner. I'm not transcribing for him, though, and I can't remember exactly what he said. I do know he's steaming mad and sad at Zach Knight right now. Jane, I'm not sure this is Robin. I shall pray and ask Jesus to help me not to make things worse for him. It could be him, but then maybe not. Anyways, Jesus told me not to post any videos unless I submit them to Brent first. Jane, it makes me sad and angry, too, that Zach Knight is doing such things to beloved people like Robin Williams. It's so sick and wrong. And then I said, this is a precaution that I have to submit my videos to Brent first right now. But Jesus has told me this the other day in case Zach tries to mess up my videos again. I think this is you, Robin, but you can understand my caution as you know how tricky Zach is. Though I have to admit what I'm hearing sounds like something Robin would say. However, Zach is too clever, but I find it interesting that we lost our connection there for a moment. Perhaps this is Robin. I could rape you right now from heaven, but I'll behave myself. Why are you talking to me? How can I be sure you are not Zach Knight? I'm afraid you do need to be careful, Gail. In fact, I may not talk to you ever again after this. Just make another video and let the world know I talked to you, and show all those pics you got of your men and the sadness they feel over my murder, especially the pics of Vladimir Putin. That guy has a pretty transparent face sometimes. I'm really touched over the funeral your men conducted for me. Yeah, I'm crying right now. I thought you didn't want people to cry at your funeral. Those are tears of happiness. I had no idea I was so loved. Robin, you were and are so selfless, and people respect that. Well, I got a bit selfish towards the end, because I tried to get you first before Brent Spiner. Jane, he was incredibly loved by all. I'm sad I'll never get to see a new movie with him. Tell Jane thanks, he said, but I guess it was my time to go. Jesus will make it all right somehow. I'm going to give Jane a big kiss. She's such a good friend to you. You don't mind, do you, Gail? Oh, Robin, go ahead. You're such a kick. Jane, that's really sweet of him. Wow, I could feel something. Wow, I'm dancing, he said. It's super cool to kiss such a great lady. She's as gutsy as you. Jane, I'm blushing. Oh my God, Jane, I'm laughing so much I can't stop. Did he kiss you on the lips? Of course, he said. Oh, this is hilarious. Jane, I could feel it. That was so strange, but also wonderful. I'm really honored. You're next, he said. Hey, you're not allowed to turn me on like this. How can I be sure that Zach isn't playing games with me and Jane? Well, Gail, I won't take you to bed, he said from heaven. How's that? Just trying to make you believe it's me. Jane, I sure hope it wasn't Zach Knight that kissed me, but it didn't feel evil. It felt really sweet, and it made me start laughing happily. I've never experienced anything like that in my entire life. Is that what brain to brain is like? Okay, I make you a dare, he said. Make that video and let the world know what happened to you and Jane. That video should go viral. I'm damn mad I couldn't give you that $2 billion ring. God knows you should be a trillionaire by now, if not for that damn Zach Knight. Yeah, exactly, I said to Jane. It looks like you got connected somehow, and that's how he kissed you on the lips. Jane, this is incredible. Robin, tell me exactly how you felt as you died. Oh, God, he said. Do I have to? Well, I want the world to know the truth. Jane, I'll back you up 100% on what has happened here. This is like nothing I've ever experienced. I was thinking about my penis being in your vagina, he said. It was the only way I could bear it. Then those damn Jesuits used that to cause me to ejaculate all over the place after I died. I'm really steamed about this. That's why they got so much semen. Hey, your clone wife is now claiming that you suffered from Parkinson's, and that's why you killed yourself. Bullshit. That damn woman killed me. What? Jane, whoa. Yeah, she knew I was going after you and she hired a hitman. Jane, this is serious. No one is reporting on that. Okay, Robin, can you tell me something, some circumstantial evidence or something else to give us a lead? For starters, they need to get all the wiretaps on her phone from the Jesuits. Jesuits tapped all her phone lines. But wouldn't the Jesuits destroy all that? Of course, but your men can get them. How did she find out, that you were coming to get me? That damn Zach Knight has brain reads on all the men on your marriage list that he monitors 24/7 at all times. He didn't want to kill me at first and thought he'd replace me with a clone, but I moved too fast and he was worried I'd really get a chance to get on the news and declare my love for you. He had my clone wife call the police and arrange to have a Jesuit police officer commit the murder. It was staged to make it appear I committed suicide. But I heard that she called the police and instructed them to tell her version. Yeah, that's because that young officer who tried CPR on me was not one of them, and they needed to be sure he wouldn't talk. But didn't he come after the murder? Actually, he was with the police when the murder happened. He was the one who made the phone call to report the murder. The police murdered me, then left for an hour, then came back. When the police came back, he was with them. They didn't expect another officer to join the group. He was a problem. Jane, we have to get the word out about this. So you're saying that a group of Jesuit police officers murdered you under instructions from your wife? Exactly. And that this officer who called was innocent and was part of the group but wasn't supposed to be? Right on. Actually, the reason they left for an hour was because the original plan was to just leave the body there and have the hotel discover Robin later. I mean, me, of course. I'm talking like a dead man already. So why did the police come back after they murdered you? Because they felt this innocent officer who was not a Jesuit would squeal on them. So they wanted him to make the phone call, thus intimidating him into silence that he was a witness to the murder. He was actually screaming and saying, "Stop this! This is horrible!" But Brent didn't catch this on the brain reads of your death experience. The Jesuits removed it from my memories. Finally, they threatened to kill him. He screamed for his life and asked them to spare his life. Jane, we really need to step up our technology to combat the Jesuits. They said, if you make the call to report the murder, we'll spare your life. Your fingerprints are everywhere, so if you squeal, you'll be considered part of the conspiracy. Jane, that's so dirty of them. Yeah, Jane, I've been giving my men a lot of suggestions. We're trying to create a separate computer system from the Jesuits. Jane, I think I am talking to the real Robin Williams. Jane, I think you are too. His story sounds very convincing. And if it was Zach Knight, I don't think he'd be giving away details like this. Well, Gail, Robin said, I've said what I need to say, so I'll take off. I've always adored you and don't regret a thing. As long as you make a video about my conversation with you, and as long as you keep on as you are. Of course, I'd do anything for you after what happened to you. Hey, Jane, I got an idea. You have Skype? I do have Skype, but I don't have a webcam or anything like that. Can you try using Instant Messenger on Skype right now? Absolutely, I'll get on there now. All right, we're on. Hey, I got Brent on Skype. Let's see if we can make this a group. Okie dokie. Brent, I can see her posting picture. Yes. Jane, wow. Brent, I'm a huge fan. It's so great to finally meet one of Gail's men. I can see it now, Brent said. I've read it all. So what do you think, Brent? It's incredible. Is Jesus with you? Do you think that was the real Robin Williams? It definitely sounds like him. Jane, yeah, I thought so too. And I said, is Jesus there? Brent, not at the moment. Makes me suspect that it was the real Robin Williams, because if it wasn't, Jesus would show up to correct us, don't you think? That's true, Brent said. Jesus usually steps in right away when Zach or Satan interfere. Jane, I'm so excited that the real Robin Williams said such nice things about me and even gave me a kiss. Gail, did you change the title to my video last night, Brent? Because the title got changed. I think Jesus did it. Oh, yes, Jesus did that. He said it would make your video more searchable based on what most people were looking for when they searched Robin Williams. How did he do it? He just willed it into being. Have you all already had your funeral for Robin? Yes, we did. It was wonderful. We played your video. When was it? Everyone was laughing and having a good time. It was like a party. It was last night. Cool. Did you read what Robin said about your funeral? Yes, I saw that. That makes me so happy to know it's what he wanted. Hey, Jane. Jane says she felt Robin kiss her. If she's not hooked up to brain, how did it happen? Did Jesus establish a connection? Brent, that's probably what happened. Jane, it was amazing, though. Brent, can you verify any of the stuff that Robin said about how he was murdered? Well, it does make sense with all of our evidence. What about the clone wife hiring a hitman? That's new evidence for us to investigate. We'll take Robin's testimony and look into his clone wife. I can definitely imagine Lori, Ludmila, or Camila doing something like that. I see. He suggested you get the phone taps of her phone from the Jesuits. He said you can do this. Yes, we can. I've let Vladimir know right away. Wonderful. It'll be amazing if what we find corroborates Robin's story to me from heaven. If so, everything he said to you can be used in court as evidence in our trials. That would be great news, since we'd have physical evidence to back up his claims. Really? But how reliable is a thought in my brain from heaven? But then if it backs up all the evidence, that automatically makes it reliable, because even psychics are sometimes used in difficult cases. And then both Brent and Jane agreed. Considering that Jesus himself has testified in our trials, I'm sure Robin Williams would be allowed.